I don't know how much I showed you last time of the cargraphic system I bought. So it's system for the version 2 of the Cayman. So I needed to alter the pipes from the cats a little bit, but the rest of the system is as it was delivered. And as you can see here, I've been doing some markings on the tubes. So when I mount it, I'm gonna match those. And here also I use some black pen. So I have had it in and out a couple of times by now. And these here are the bypass valves. And I'm not really sure which way it goes when it's on loud mode and when it's on silent mode, but yeah. So hopefully the final mounting starts now, and see how that goes. First step done. So I got way too much this sealant here, but I'm gonna dry it away. So these two were a real mess because the tubes you see here, they have expanded the tube and it's not completely round, so you need to wiggle it quite a bit to get it in. But this side is really good. This side is 9 out of 10, so I'm gonna test fit it again and see what it looks like. If it looks way too crazy, I need to remove this and redo it. But yeah, it's going in the car again to see what it looks like. Another test fit, so they look quite okay, I think. That might need to go up 0.5 centimeter, but not more. But I can't go further up because of where the tube exits there. Otherwise it's just gonna look like that and it's gonna look silly. So I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Then it's only 2 bolts in there. Let's see if I can get some light on there. Yeah, those 2 in the middle there, and those 3 here. And the key thing here is that it's flat without tension, so that's why I needed to recut and re-weld. And then there needs to be a new seal there, but other than that it looks okay actually. So yeah, I'm gonna take it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the car and remove these tubes and put on the clamp and some sealant, and then it's out again for the final step. So all the bolts in the rear here are finger tight, and I just attach them here so they're still extremely loose. Just wiggle a little bit so all the tension is gone, and then just tighten these, and then do the clamps here. Well, I'm gonna do that on my own, and then on both sides naturally, and then it will come out for the last time. This is the last stage before installing the exhaust in the car, and since I have the brake caliper and brake disc and suspension tower just here, I want to keep as much heat out of the wheelhouse as possible. And this is a heat coating that should trap the heat inside the tube, but I'm also going to add some titanium wrapping, and this should withstand heat even better than glass fiber wrapping that I have on the last piece here. And I've seen this being used on the pipes that going directly out of the engine, so this should be good enough stuff to be able to withstand this heat here also. And the instruction calls for measuring how many laps or turns you need, and then you measure it out. But since I have an open tube here, I'm not gonna be bothered with that, and I'm just gonna start here in the middle, and let's see, how do I do this to get the most? That's probably the best, yeah. So I would say the problem with starting this is that this is much slippier. This material is much more slippier than the glass fiber one. And since this is a new tube, it's completely smooth. So that's why I don't want to grip onto it. So I have to cheat a little bit here. Let's see if we can make this work perhaps. So I say the benefit of working with this is that it's not as dusty as the glass fiber one, and it looks really nice, and it should withstand heat better than the glass fiber one also. Then I added the first tubing of the vacuum system here. So this is the control valve here, and I'm gonna need to set up the system later, but I put on the first plastic tube here, so the first step down. So now to get it into the car. Everything is now finger tight, so you can see it's a little bit loose here still, and I new nuts on there. And then here you see it moves a little bit, but this is just to give me a possibility to do the final adjustments. So now I'm gonna go over and put Loctites on the nuts here and torque everything to 23 Newton meters. Finally the system is installed. So now it's nice and tight in there. And it's looking really good. Looking forward to start it hopefully tonight, but oops, we'll see. I think I'm going to try to make the valves work before I attempt to start it. Everything up until now is a temporary install. I just want to make sure everything works. So twin cylinder 1 and 2, here is a valve, and if you're gonna pick up the vacuum from the bottom of this one, so what I did, I loosened the contact here and picked up the valve and removed the bottom line and put in a T connection, and there's this hose here, and it goes to this valve here. And then you have a vacuum hose that goes to the valves on the exhaust system, and this is the control cable. And here is the controller, and I have taken ground from here. I'm gonna steal power from the circuits here. As you can see, it started now. So this is the controller. There you go. On, off, on, off. Okay. Okay, time to install the vacuum hoses, and included with the kit there is this hard plastic tubing that you're supposed to use together with the rubber connectors here, and this is gonna go brittle in the heat in the engine bay and crack, and then the functionality is gonna be disturbed. So I'm getting rid of this, and instead I bought silicone holes. So this is a 4 mil diameter inside here. So, and this, I use this on my turbo engine on my Saab, and this is, I know this stuff works. So first of all, I have had some temporary install here before, so we're gonna remove that and replace it with a silicone hose. And what you do is you have between cylinder 1 and 2 here, you have I don't know what this does, but what you do is you steal the vacuum pressure from this thing, and what you do is you do it down. I'm gonna remove the connector there. Whoa. So you can see at the bottom here there's a T connector, and in the middle here is where this is the hose for the temporary install. So this is the control unit, well, the control valve, and there's a bracket here. I think it's for lifting the engine, and there is a M6 nut, captive nut there. So I just took that and added it to this, and let's see. So this is this hose here will go to the valves, and this will be here. I'm not gonna put it in place yet because I want to be able to measure the electrical connection, but this one we can measure up at least, so everything is in place. Then this is the wiring from the controller box, and there's actually a hole in the top here where there's a plastic insert, and I'm going to run the cable through there. I taped this with a fabric tape so it withstand rubbing and wear and tear much better also. Okay, so I'm gonna just tentatively mount it here. I started the routing of the vacuum hoses, and you can maybe see that it's coming from up top there. There's the valve, and it goes between the gear selection hoses, or whatever we should call them. Here it's connected to cooling fin. There's the T, and the one closest here we have connected to the valve at the rear here. And these are really helpful. I don't know the name of them, but they look like this anyway. So in one is the hose, and then the other is a clamp for the pin here. And I think the parts number is this 598-31201, or maybe 651-28601. I might have mixed up the bags, but the other one is that one, so you might have good use of both those ones. Anyhow, just the other side to complete, and then we should be good. The final installation now, the last parts are complete. So here's the hose from the vacuum takeoff, and here's the controller unit, and I got the cord for that going up in the corner here, and it's coming out here and going up to the controller unit, and I put up here. And these two loose cords here, they are for power and ground, and I'm gonna not have them loose like this naturally, but I'm gonna do final test before I do last installation.